Last night, Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Jim Smith died a hero. He was shot and killed attempting to arrest a barricaded subject just a few short blocks from here in Grundy Center. He sacrificed himself protecting others. Sergeant Jim Smith was a 27-year veteran of the Iowa State Patrol. Sergeant Jim Smith was a friend. Sergeant Jim Smith was a brother. Sergeant Jim Smith was a son. Sergeant Jim Smith was a husband. Sergeant Jim Smith was a dad. Sergeant Jim Smith was a protector of the innocent. Sergeant Jim Smith was a guardian of justice. Sergeant Jim Smith was a man of God. Sergeant Jim Smith. And I'm going to keep saying his name until his sacrifice is seared upon the hearts of anyone that can hear my voice. Conversely, a name you will never hear come from my lips is the name of the man who stole Jim's life with his cowardice. His name does not deserve to be uttered in the same breath as Sergeant Jim Smith. And the men and the women of the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Division of Criminal Investigation, and the Iowa State Patrol will do everything in their power to make sure that man is held to account. We are hurting. We are angry. But rest assured, we're not broken. We will continue to shoulder the burdens of our communities while carrying our own. We will continue to stand in the gap of good and evil because, like Jim, that is what we're called to do. But we're not robots. We hurt, we bleed, we cry, sought the comfort of our loved ones last night as we mourn the loss of our brother. So please, pray for the women of the Iowa State Patrol. Support us. Help us as we grieve. We're not immune to this world. We're human. And we need the support of our communities in times like this. And we need to hold on to the legacy of Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Jim Smith.
On Friday, April 9th, at approximately 7:22 p.m., Grundy Center Police Department attempted to conduct a traffic stop on Michael Thomas Lang, age 41, of Grundy Center. Lang fled from the Grundy Center Police and he was chased into an area southeast of town. He pulled over on 250th Avenue, exited his vehicle, and assaulted the Grundy Center police officer who chased him. During the assault, Lang yelled, "Shoot me," multiple times to this officer. Lang disarmed the officer of his taser, removed his radio, and put the officer in a chokehold. Law enforcement responded to the area of the assault. A Grundy County deputy arrived on scene and witnessed the Grundy Center police officer recovering from the assault and Lang in the area of the officer's patrol vehicle. The deputy drew his weapon and gave commands to Lang to put his hands up. Lang did not comply, yelling, "Come get me," and subsequently got into his vehicle and fled the area. The deputy pursued Lang back into Grundy Center, but lost sight of him. The deputy then went to Lang's residence, located at 305 G Avenue in Grundy Center. He saw Lang's vehicle parked in the driveway and Lang entering his residence through the garage. The deputy requested assistance from other law enforcement officers in the area. Responding law enforcement set up a perimeter around the house. Lang's father arrived at the house and informed those law enforcement officers that his son had multiple firearms inside the residence, including a .410 caliber shotgun. At approximately 8:55 p.m., 4 additional Iowa State Patrol troopers and a Hardin County Sheriff's Deputy K-9 unit made entry into the residence through the door of the garage leading into the residence. Prior to entering the residence, the entry team verbally identified themselves as law enforcement. They also announced that they would send in a K-9. As the entry team began to clear the upstairs of the residence, Sergeant Jim Smith was hit by gunfire coming from inside the residence. After Sergeant Smith was shot, members of the entry team observed Lang emerge from the doorway holding a black pump-action shotgun. 2 members of the entry team that were with Sergeant Smith retreated into the basement while other members of the entry team pulled Sergeant Smith from the residence. Lang then barricaded himself inside the residence and refused to come out. Members of the entry team that remained in the basement stated that Lang made several statements about having shot Sergeant Smith and expressed the desire to shoot more police officers. Lang remained barricaded inside the residence for several hours. At approximately 11:50 p.m., an Iowa State Patrol tactical team attempted to make entry into the residence with a wheeled armored personnel carrier. During the entry, Lang shot multiple rounds at the personnel carrier, and 3 members of the tactical team returned gunfire, striking Lang multiple times. Lang was subsequently taken into Iowa State Patrol TAC team members, taken into custody by Iowa State Patrol tactical team members. Sergeant Smith was immediately transported to Grundy County Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead from a single gunshot wound. Lang was transported to University of Iowa hospitals, where he underwent surgery for multiple gunshot wounds and is currently listed in critical condition. Michael Thomas Lang has been charged with 1 count of murder first degree, a Class A felony in Iowa. He's being held on $1 million cash bond, and the investigation is still ongoing. We ask on behalf of Sergeant Smith's family that you respect their privacy as they grieve this horrific loss of their husband father, son, and brother. This is an ongoing investigation. We will entertain a few questions. A lot of them we may not be able to answer. Yes?
Was Lang known to officers prior to this?
He was known to local officers, yes.
Did he have like criminal convictions and things like that?
That's something that's still being developed, and we're not going to release that at this time. Yes?
Was there a second individual involved with Mr. Lang who was inside the house who was also arrested, or were there any other arrests made throughout the night?
No, there was not. Sir?
The other officers who were in the truck arriving later in the night, were they injured when the shots were coming in from Lang?
No, no one else was injured from those shots. And that's what that armored vehicle is designed to do, is to protect anyone that's in it, and it did just that.
We saw some damage to that vehicle. Was that from the gunfire?
It was. And there was also a deputy squad car that took around as well.
Do you know how many guns he had and how many stockpiles?
We do not. Well, I mean, that's part of the investigation, and I don't have that number with me, though, either. Yeah.
Do you know why he was stopped in the first place?
I'm sorry?
Do you know why he was stopped?
In the first place, why?
It was a traffic stop. I believe he was not allowed to drive. He was barred from driving, and the local Grundy Center officer recognized him and saw him driving.
In order to shoot guys in control, do you know how many troopers died on that?
11. Sergeant Jim Smith is number 11.
What do you make of the fact that it sounds like he was really taunting the officers who he interacted with last night?
You know, I mean, that's you know, what do we make of it? It's something, unfortunately, that we have to do. But I will assure you that the Grundy Center police officer, the Grundy County deputy that responded, acted with professionalism and, just like Sergeant Smith, heroism. Yes?
I believe I saw online that 2011 was the last time a state patrol officer was killed in the line of duty. Could you confirm if that is in fact the case?
That is. Trooper Mark Toney.
Did this individual have a violent history with police, or was this a violent criminal history before this was going on?
And that's something part of the criminal history that we're still investigating. Other than that, one more question.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the decision to bring in that tactical unit into the house? How was that decision made?
It's something that actually the Iowa State Patrol just recently was able to procure 2 of those units, and I will tell you personally that the patrol's only had them for 2 or 3 weeks, and they've already been deployed 2 or 3 times because of serious, dangerous situations such as barricaded individuals. And you know, it's an evaluation that takes place at that time, and this subject was then barricaded, and you know, Father informing us that informing the first responding officers that he has multiple firearms. So that's something that they have, you know, that they can use, another tool that they have to try to save lives.
How does it work in the house? You saw damage at the front of the house. Could you tell us how that actually works?
You know, and I'm not intimately familiar with the capabilities, other than it is armored. And I know that there's different tools within or contained on that vehicle that has the capability of breaching, you know, various buildings, residences, you know, what have you, structures. So
there are only 2 in the state.
I'm sorry?
There are only 2 of those vehicles in the state.
There's 2 with the Iowa State Patrol. Other local agencies, some metro agencies and other county sheriff's departments have some across the state, similar to. But with that, we thank you for coming, and yeah, help us pay our respects to Sergeant Smith. Thank you.